We are using 6 by 7 inches. Alright, so the first thing we are going to do is to add a rectangular shape to cover our work area. Now let's change the color. Now type in this code. Alright, and click OK. Let's import our Bible now. Drag and drop into your project. Now let's resize it. Select the layer and change the opacity to 35. Let's add a layer mask and choose the eraser tool. Right click and make sure that the hardness is set to 0. Now after that, you can use the bracket keys on your keyboard to adjust the size of the eraser. Now let's go ahead and erase this part of our image so that the blending can be smooth. Okay. Now the next step is to import the photo that we are using. Okay, so drag and drop into your project. Alright, so select this image and also add a layer mask and choose the eraser tool again and adjust the size, and let's erase some part of the image. Okay, so the next step is to add an ellipse tool. Press and hold the shift key and then draw the shape. Okay, now let's change the color. So use the color picker to pick a sample color from here and click OK. Good. Now let's change the opacity from 100 to 75. Now select this layer and press Ctrl J on your keyboard to make a copy. Now select the upper layer. Come to Properties. Now select this color and then turn it off. Now let's come to the outline. We are going to turn it on and choose an orange color. So we are going for this color and the code is FF8400. So go ahead and type in the code for the same color. Click OK. Now let's increase the weight. Let's type in 8. Okay. Now what we are going to do now is to reduce the size of what we have just drawn. So come to layer and make sure that it is selected. Now press and hold Shift and Alt keys together and then reduce the size to about this size. Then leave it. Now let's expand it a bit to this size. Good. Make sure it is selected again and add a layer mask. Now come here and choose the eraser tool. This time, set the hardness to 100% and then let's erase some parts. And leave these two arcs. Select text and let's add our first text to it. Alright. So we are going to use this font. Alright. So we are going to increase the size. Okay. So select this word and then come to properties again. Now this time we are going to set this one to -100 and reduce the size a bit. Now we are changing this color to white. Now press Ctrl J to make a copy of this one. Bring it down, double click and then edit. So we are going to continue and complete what we were writing. Okay, so we are going to reduce this size. And also change the color of this one to red. So we are going to use this code. Okay. Let's select this arc. Select our eraser tool. Reduce the size. We are going to continue and add some of the arc here. So make sure that this time the white goes down and the black comes up. We add to what we have already erased. Okay, so make sure this one is selected again. Let's make a copy. The easy way to make a copy is to press and hold the Alt key and then drag what you want to duplicate. Let's double click and then change the word. So we have practical word. So this way we are going to change the color. So come to properties and then select this one. Now type in this code that we are going to use, that is FFCC00. Now click OK. Use our arrow keys to position it properly. Now press and hold the Alt key and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Okay, so the next thing to do is to make another copy. So the same way, press and hold the Alt key and drag the word that you want to copy. Now type in service. Let's resize this word. Okay, so now what I want to do is to crop some parts of my work area. Then I'll come to image and then crop. So this part is going to go away. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our time and our date. So come to where the shape is and pick rectangle 2. Then make a small shape here. So we are going to make it white. Let's zoom in at the moment and then make copies. Now press and hold the Shift key and then select all of them together and position them well. Now once we are done, click this point, right click and choose Skew and drag it to the right. So this is what we are going to have now. Okay, so let's choose our text and then add the days that we are going to have the program. And we are changing the color and choose from here. And then change the font. So we are going for this one, Adam CJ Pro, and reduce the size. So we have first make a copy and edit. So I'm going to speed up the work here. Okay, so let's add another rectangular shape. So that one is going to come here and end right here. So it is also going to be white. Now click here and right click, and then let's choose skew once again. Hold this side and drag it to the right. So we have this now, very beautiful. Let's make a copy of this one and then edit to write our mouth and our ear. We are changing the font type to Franklin Gothic Heavy, and then the expansion comes to 0. Come to the type and choose italic. So we are now going to add another shape. Now make sure that the upper layer is selected, and then let's add our shape. Let's change the color from properties to null, that is no color, and then come to the outline and also change the color to a solid one, and we are coming for white, and make sure that we increase the weight to about 4. Okay. Now let's also make another copy of this text by pressing and holding the Alt key and dragging. So double click and insert your time there. So we are changing the color of this one also to this type. So just click on it to copy the sample. And let's resize our text. So let's change the font of this one. Now let's make a copy of these 6, and then let's continue with our time. Let's resize, and also the expansion, let's come to -75. Now let's make a copy of this one and edit. Make another copy and also make an edit. Now change the font to Franklin, and then come to -25 and also reduce the text size to 8. Now add a shape, white one here. So we are going to indicate the duration. We are changing the color to white. Come to layer. Let's make a copy to this one. Double click and write 2. Now come to properties, then come to Franklin, change the text color to black, and then resize it and put it right there. Alright. Alright, now let's add a shape. Let's change the color to white. Now all this shape is selected. Press Ctrl J to make another copy and select the upper layer, come to properties and change the color. So we are going for orange color. So as usual, you can type in this code. Now redo the size of this one from the right. So we are going to put the location here and also the name of the person. We have the image here. So go ahead and put the names there. Okay, so now that we are done with this, the only thing left is to add the name of the church and the logo here. So let's import our logo. Drag and drop. Now make sure you zoom in and have it done properly. So if you want to move the work area like this, just press and hold the space bar and then drag it. Add a shape. And change the color to this one. Now let's drag and copy this word, double click and then change the text to the name of your church. Reduce the size. Now choose this one to align it. Okay, add another shape. Let's change the color and choose this. All right. Let's put and change the color to white and put it right there on this one. Okay, so there is one more thing for us to do, and that's to come here, select this one, and then right click on the layer and choose blending options. Now come to drop shadow. I have set the opacity to 100% because the background is already dark, so I want it to appear, that's why I made it 100%. So the last thing we are going to do is to add a shape like this, and then we are turning the color off, and we are going to make only the outline. We have chosen color white. Increase the weight to, I would like to choose 3. So let me type in 3. Okay. So this is what we have here. Now let's reduce the opacity from 100 to 30. Make sure that it is selected, and then add a layer mask to it and pick the eraser tool. So we are going to erase this part of the line and then set the hardness to 0, and let's go like this. Alright, so we are done. If you have any question, please leave it below. I'll get back to you. Please make sure you subscribe and make sure that you share this video. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.